Path to Freedom, a Buddhist dialogue in the modern context.
Welcome to another edition of Path to Freedom on this blessed Poet Day. Now this Poet Day is especially significant because it comes right after the New Year's, where we start anew, forgetting the ill will and the discontent of the old year, starting afresh, building towards a hopeful and brighter future. Now, of course, the New Year's is a significant event for all Sri Lankans, be it whichever faith or creed you are falling into. I think the New Year represents a new hope, a new beginning. This, of course, the New Year we celebrate is a mixture of culture, I think cultural, indigenous, and of course there is different faiths, astrological, everything combined comes into the New Year. Astrology wise, it is the time when the sun moves from the house of Pisces to the house of Aries, and this signifies a new year. The festival of harvest happens during the New Year as well. So there are a lot of things that the New Year is accounted to. Within this, I think there is somewhat of the faiths that are involved. Now, Buddhism itself comes into play. If you are a follower of the religion, during the time allocated for Punya Kalaya, you actually do go and observe your religion, go to the temple, and of course conduct the religious activities. Of course, there are other things that also follow in the Buddhist principle. There is the worship of elders. There is a lot of customs are built around, I think, different faiths that are involved. So to talk about this and the celebration of the New Year, how to start anew, and of course the religious aspects, we have both on the regular face of Path to Freedom, the Venerable Galkante Dhammananda Thera of the Walpola Rahula Institute, who is the head of the Department of History at the University of Kelaniya, is with us. Thera, welcome to the show. Glad to have you back. Now, Thera, I think I hope I did justice in describing the New Year. It is amalgamation of a lot of things that have come together to create this event. Throughout history, I think a lot of significance has been there. So, in your words, how do you consider the New Year's which is preceding this Poet Day?
Well, it is one of the happiest time for, I think, all the people who are here. The way I look at as you explained very well, all the other, among those, I prefer to highlight the agriculture, that harvesting, and after harvesting our New Year comes, that is there. And not only in Sri Lanka, Kerala, Nepal, and you will see the whole area, this is happening, and this has a very close connection with the harvest. And so the agricultural society, and after work very hard, at the end they get the harvest. That's the happiness. And then to thank to those, and who whatever they do rituals, and then see people, children come to see parents, and and all these happen in that happy period. And this I believe, I see a kind of cultural thing. It is not directly connected with any religion, as you correctly said. This is cultural, and this is, as human being, we as cultured people, we develop our own culture, and this is something unique and beautiful event. And I see this as a kind of connecting people of our own country, and not only that, to see the people of other countries, they are also celebrating New Year. So this has something that common for every human being, and that is the survival we need food, and people work hard for that and the success, and then thank to whatever the powers around as farmers believe, and then to share that happiness. So that is how I see the new year, and it is a moment for us to start again. That also is there, the harvesting, and after that you start the season again, cultivation. It is a circle, and they have bring that into the life. And what happened in the previous year, you forget bad things, okay, and you go to see those people, and you try to start afresh. So I find this is something very unique and not particularly related to any religion, but it is people's festival. That's how I see.
Thera, I think I want to touch upon a point you brought up as well. Starting afresh, I think that can relate to Buddhism in terms of attachments, letting go of past angers and ill content and discontent and everything that is bearing ill will towards other people. How do you actually go about doing this and starting afresh?
Well, this has very close connection with the basic teachings of the Buddha, the philosophical approach. One is, as you correctly connected with letting go, and sometimes we keep most of the time we tend to keep in our memory the bad things. I mean, the something that hurtful. Okay, because that hurt you, that is why you keep it. And this is a moment that you let it go and start again, give a chance, right? So that is one part. Second is the interdependence, the theory of interdependence, right? That paticca samuppada, conditional genesis theory. There, the Buddhism suggests that we are interconnected and interdependent. So we are connected with trees, we are connected with the farm, we are connected with the people, we are connected with other living beings and the air, everything. And in this festival you will see the way people celebrate this. You will see this, whether it has come from particular religion or not, that I don't think so. But people, they learn from their own practice, right? They see that without the support, without the rain, you cannot cultivate. Without trees, you cannot have your food. And when you see the particular, on New Year Day, particularly mothers, they work with the fire. They do something with, and the auspicious time you start cooking something, and that is. Then you do something with the well. You go to the well, bring fresh water. Sometimes in particular areas they keep that fresh water at home, and for the whole year. And Vadayal Lima, right? You do start again, then Vadayal Lima, again planting something or doing some work. And here, knowingly or unknowingly, people connect with the whole other things and other people, and that very closely connect with the interdependence theory in Buddhism. And if we can bring, highlight this connection, and try to develop based on that, we can make people understand the interconnectedness, why we have to protect the environment, why we have to protect the rights of other living beings, their right of living, and why we have to help each other, why we have to go and see elders. And I see the culture that that has been evolved over time, and the culture that we can highlight, we can is very closely connected with Buddhism. That is how I see. This is not very high level of philosophy, but it is something living Buddhism.
And another aspect of the New Year's is the auspicious times. you have set times to do something.
Yeah.
Now this is very connected to astrology.
Yeah.
When it comes to Buddhism, is timing playing a role, or is it something that is completely different?
It is, in Buddhism, this auspicious time and astrology is not, it is not something accepted. What the Buddhism says, the right moment is the now, start it, okay? So that is how, do it, and that is the auspicious time. And there is one saying, Nakkattam patimanentam atto balang upajjaga atto attasa nakkattam king karisanti taraka. What is the star can do? Start it now. This is the time. So that is, always encourage you to start and continue. And this astrology that is connected with New Year, I think that is why I suggested that New Year is not a religious one. It is the people's celebration. They have their own beliefs, and that when you interact with the well, women put something, some flowers or something to the well and take and this has nothing to do with religion. Their own practice as a way of interacting with the well. So the astrology part in Buddhism, no, Buddhism suggests do it now. This is the good time.
So that is practices becoming a routine, and then it becoming something else that has transcended culturally. When it comes to Buddhism, now of course Buddhism itself is a religion, it's a philosophy. How does that actually influence culture? Now of course Sri Lanka being a majority Buddhist country, and we have a lot of neighbors, some neighbors who are Buddhist countries as well. How does that shape the culture around it?
Well, I think it play a major role. However, I have to tell that over time, if we are not mindful, you will go on practicing rituals without knowing the meaning. Then the young generation, they don't know why it is started, and they will keep on just and after that you will lose the meaning. So what I suggest is, instead of just continuing, bring this kind of teaching into the culture and make it something meaningful. And that is how I suggest that normally what happens, but here, as you mentioned, there is a punya kala, right? That there's a allocated time for you to engage with the religion. So, and people go to the temple and meet the monk, and that's a good part of that the connection, Buddhism connection with. What I want to suggest, how to make it more meaningful. And that is the role. And if we encourage the whole family to come to the temple and have a dialogue with the monk, that is something very beautiful. And then and that kind of again and blessing them. They need that because they day-to-day life, so many sufferings there. So they need kind of blessing. So this is how I see the connection, and we as human beings, we create culture, and culture is not divinely created. It is when we come together here, there's a culture. So what we have to do, highlight the values of valuable parts of the culture and add more value and make it more meaningful and a cultured human. Now, the way I see Buddhism, when you look at the Eightfold Path, Samma Vacha, good words, and your thoughts and everything, it creates a cultured human. So that is what I really want to add, that bring these teachings and this cultural celebrations into that give a meaning, more meaningful cultural day. Yeah, that is how.
Does it go other way around? When it comes to culture being influenced by religion, can religion be influenced by culture, those practices coming?
Yes, of course. This is not one way, right?
Yeah.
It can happen. And, more than that, the market and the commercialization, all these things are coming. And then that is where I highlight the mindfulness, be mindful, and there, without dragging ourselves to, but keep on why we do these things and what is the meaning, how we can develop the meaning. And there, I think, when you ask that how the lay life, whether that can influence there, that can happen. This is both side always, but mindfulness. And if we are not mindful, then we will go into kind of more material life, more and more material things, and then we will lose the value.
And what about the word harmony when it comes to the religion, culture, and of course, lay life?
Well, that the dependent origination theory, or that, that is talk about harmony, right? That harmony not only among people, not only among different religious people, but the harmony with the nature, right? That without understanding the harmony and without promoting that, there won't be, man is not supreme, and man is not can be happy disregarding the other things. So the harmony with the nature, harmony with the trees, harmony with the living beings, harmony with the air, and harmony with our fellow human beings. So that is, disregarding that, we cannot be happy.
I think that is one of the more important things to keep in mind, to actually coexist with everyone else. Now, I think current time, COVID being a factor, we talked a lot about COVID when it came to the New Year's episode. I think throughout we have spoken about this. There is a sense of discontent and frustration among people when it comes to celebrations, when it comes to positive events. A lot of people say there is suffering going on, there is a world which it is somewhat in flames. So how can you have celebrations? How can you have positive events? How do you reconcile these two aspects and keep trudging through?
Well, I think the suffering is the reality, right? And since we suffer, we are not prepared to see that. When something happens, we get shocked, and whether we can. But suffer. The way we look at certain things, create the unhappy situation. But what I suggest, this corona time, yes, we could not meet each other and we could not interact the way we used to do, but how many more positive things happen, right? I mean, the environment pollution went down, and we got more time to be with the family, and to see, and then to work more with the family. And in a way, we understood that even without this race we can live, right? So that is how I see certain people who were doing certain particular jobs, for them it affected very badly, who were in tourism and hotel sector, they affected a lot. Yes, that we have to accept that. But this corona situation gave us a chance to stop the race and look around. And I think if we understand the message that it gave us a golden opportunity to start afresh, like the new year. So I think we can combine this, start afresh instead of this race. We can be happy, just relax, and we can start something new. And as we discussed in the New Year, I think last January program, when one door is closed, the normal thing can happen is to weep over it and looking at that door, but we don't see around how many more doors are open now. That is how I see.
And also, I think this time is the perfect time to ask about something that affects a lot of people now. Again, mental health. When you're by yourself, when you're alone, sometimes you're with yourself. Your mind is the only companion you have. And a lot of people sometimes struggle with that. They fall into different types of mental illnesses, depression, or sometimes they get frustrated with themselves. How can you combat that more philosophically?
We know that is, even in my young age, I did not understood the Buddha's message, this, with the life. I was doing certain rituals, chanting Pirit, and now when I grow and read more, and I find this message, to anyone, whether you are a Buddhist or non-Buddhist, that doesn't matter. This teach us to be in the present moment, right? Be in the present moment. And actually, what is the reality? What is really is the present moment only. Past is something memory only. We cannot go back, and we cannot create this moment in the tomorrow, because the everything is changed. Physically I am changed. The thoughts are changed. So what is reality is present moment only. So if we can bring this mindfulness practices, without any religious label, mindfulness, everyone can practice and train our mind to be in the present moment. And if we train that, we can face such situations, we can overcome, and we can be happy, because we have only this moment. Why we lose this, right? So
mind is one of the only things that you are certain about at the present moment, I think. Everything is uncertain.
That's right. That's right.
Prabha, thank you, Thera, for that brilliant message. That was Galkande Dhammananda Thera of the Walpola Rahula Institute. Thank you, Thera. And with that, we will wind up today's edition of Path to Freedom. Join us next month on another Blessed Poetic.